welcome. So welcome to your practice, welcome to your mat, welcome to your sacred space in your own place. And it is an honor to have you here and to guide your practice. And so let's start just by dropping into your breath, and you can bring your hands together at your heart, but if you want to just, you've had a long day, you want to just lay them on your lap and ground yourself for a few moments, that's fine. And whatever would feel like a place that you can just close your eyes and take a few conscious breaths. Just releasing whatever you can let go right now here. And I'll just give you a mantra as we just take a few moments. Just repeat to yourself, I am here. I am here. I am here. Good. And allow your chin to drop a little bit more as you bow to yourself, to your heart, to your presence, to your mantra, to your intention. And as you inhale, lengthen yourself tall. If your hands are not at your heart, bring them there now. And exhale, bow your chin, feel your breath on your hands. And feel yourself here in this position of devotion. And that you are devoting this time for your own health and wellness, for your deep relaxation, and for space to simply be. And so before we leave this place, let's just take that idea of simply being a little bit more deeper, a little more deeply, and think about, some of the hats you wear. Who are you outside of this space, outside of your yoga mat? And that could be coworker, mother, father, friend, partner, child, all of these things that you are. Even like teacher, social worker, dentist, whatever it is. Let's feel those hats you wear. And now in your mind's eye, just lay them down. Just imagine yourself just taking each hat off and just setting it aside, or even, tossing it to the other side of the room for now. So that you arrive as you are. And then inhale nice and tall, fill yourself up. Exhale your breath. And we'll open practice and chant Om together 3 times. Inhale. Bow your chin. Release your hands to your thighs. Lift your chin and open your eyes. Okay, so we're gonna just rub our feet and put some oil or whatever you have or don't have, and if you have socks, then we'll bring those in as well. And I'm just going to talk you through. So sit in a way that's comfortable for you. And you'd rather sit on your bolster, you know, whatever works. So I'm going to go to cross-legged, but I'm going to put one foot on top. And if that works for you, great. And if it doesn't, you know, just whatever works so you can see the sole of one foot. Okay, I'll just give.
Thank
Do you have socks here?
Yep.
Okay. And we'll just rub that oil or cream or whatever. We'll start with just one foot. And just notice, you know, how the sole of your foot is. If it's rough and dry or achy, sore. And just do the top, the bottom of the foot. You say that every time. Every time I use this oil, he says, "Oh, that smells so good." And then just work in between your toes a little bit. And then just maybe work a little deeper. So you just can use your thumbs side to side or up and down your foot. You can give each toe a little twist and a pull. Good. And good. And we're going to let the fingers with the opposite hand go in between the toes. And so you can use the same hand as the foot you're using and pull the toes, spread them out, try and get, you know, as much in as you can. If you can go web to web, that's the, you know, full thing, but there's nowhere else to go but web to web. It's not working. Okay. And then just start to rock this foot, or if just getting your fingers in your toes is enough, then just breathe. But if you can move your foot around a little bit, maybe it unplugged. Good. Nice. Okay. And then just rub the foot again. I still have my fingers in the toes. I'm just going to use the hands and kind of work the arch of the foot a little bit. And I might even take that same hand as foot, put the thumb right in the center of the arch, push in, and then use the hand that's woven in between the toes and pull the foot towards me at the same time as I press into that arch. Good. And then we'll release and just give it a little rub. You can even twist your whole foot a few times, so the corkscrew, you know, you can hold the top and the bottom of the foot and just turn in opposite directions. Good. And then just give it a nice little warm up, the heel, all of that. And then we'll sock it. It's nice to kind of look at your feet for a moment too. If you still have light in your room and you can see a difference in the colors of your feet after one has gotten some love. You know, and then even, you know, just before you switch, you can even just stretch your legs out, close your eyes, and feel into the vibrational energy of each foot. And what I always feel is like, you know, that one that just got love feels loved, and the other one feels like unloved. Yeah, and so, good. Okay, and then find your way to find the other sole of your foot. Yay! Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good. And then just do the same thing. Just look at your foot and really like love it, feel it. Oh, it's a little dry here, or maybe there's, I don't know what you have on your feet, but just notice your foot and, you know, where the dry skin goes and anything that's uncomfortable. Good. And then after, you know, you rub the top and the bottom, maybe even your ankles, and you can start to apply a little bit more pressure with your hands. Work the toes, spread them. Yeah. And then we're going to slide the opposite hand's fingers in between the toes. I say slide, but I remember when I first saw this or tried this, and there was no way my fingers were going to get anywhere in between my toes. And I was like 32. So that was a big awakening.
Just a couple of years ago.
Just a couple of years ago.
2 years.
It's almost like 20 years ago.
That's great.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'm going to use the same hand as foot again. I'm just going to take that thumb, right? You know, give the arch a little love, and then go to the center of the arch where you might even feel like a little, you know, I don't know what you would feel, but I'm going to say maybe a little nodule or a little tension. And you're just going to press in and then use the other hand to pull the foot towards you as you push in. And breathe. I feel this quite a bit, so that to me is good work. Good work, Joe. Good work, everybody. Good. And then we can release and just give everything a nice little rub. You can take your fingers out if you wish from the toes, and you can just kind of work all of that nice love massage. Good. Okay, and then we'll sock up that foot. Myers, nice happy hue. Good. Okay, now we're just going to sit for a moment, and we're just going to do a little bit of face yoga. So again, you know, sit in any way that's comfortable, and if you're like, I don't want to sit, I want to lie down, you can do it all lying down too. Okay, so we're going to start with a little eye yoga, and our eyes, you know, can do a full 360 around. So just start by closing your eyes, and now crunch your eyelids, like crunch your eyes like you're squeezing them. Take a normal breath in and out, and then release the eyes, and then keep them closed, but as if you're widening your eyes. So you lift your eyebrows, and maybe even feel the bottoms as if you're like, what's happening? But your eyes are closed. And then crunch them again, and then widen them, and crunch them, and widen them, and then just let it come to rest. Good. Okay. And then take your palms together, so eyes still closed, just rub your hands together. You know, if you use something with essential oil, oh, you can smell inside your hands. There it is. And then we're going to place these palms over the eye sockets. If you're wearing glasses, you'll take them off. And then just take your hands and just hold them. And there should be some nice heat in the hands. You know, we've already been using them. You can just allow that heat, that loving kindness to just, as if the eyes are getting a little hot bath, or, you know, a little sauna love. Take one more breath, my friends. And then slowly release your hands. Just let them come down and rest somewhere on your thighs, palms up or palms down. Good. And then we'll just open the eyes, just slowly, like just let this, if you're just waking up. Good. Okay, now we're going to imagine this is a clock. So you take your eyeballs and you look up to what you think would be 12 o'clock. And don't move your head, just lift the eyes. And for me, I know one eyelid doesn't open as wide as the other. So I'll like work that one a little bit more. Good. Just keep looking up, soften your jaw, and now take your eyeballs to what you imagine would be 1 o'clock. Take a full breath in, full breath out, and then move them to what you think is 2 o'clock, like as far as you can, like it's a really big clock. And then go to 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and then 6 o'clock. And you're going to look down into your cheeks, soften your jaw. You know, if your neck is starting to hurt, pull your chin in. And then 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11, and back to 12. And then just crunch your eyes and widen them with them closed. Like close your eyes, crunch and widen, crunch and widen. And then soften, just let your eyes come back, open them again. And now we're going to go counterclockwise. So let's start at 6. So look down, soften your jaw, adjust your seat, and then move to 7. No, sorry, we're going to go the other way. 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 1, 12. Notice if you're lifting your chin. Bring it down, pull it in, lift the eyes. Soften your jaw. Now go to 11. So you're moving your eyes as far as you can, 11 o'clock, and then 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 8, 7, and 6. And then relax your eyes and crunch and widen, crunch and widen. And then just bring it to normal. And we're going to open the eyes again. And this time we're just going to circle around the clock. So sometimes it's helpful if you use your finger and you kind of take it up like to where you can barely see it. And then we'll just go clockwise. So just start to move, and your finger can just move and, around the clock. Try and bring it to that place where it's like the hardest to see it without moving your chin. And try and make it nice and smooth. If you come to the bottom, you might switch hands and take the other hand. So you just watch that finger. If you can see arm, move it back a little bit so you can just see finger. Good. And notice if the finger is moving faster than the eyes. And then you'll just change direction here. Really try and keep it, as best as you can. But also notice, are there places where you feel your eyes kind of jump and not go smoothly? And then again, when you get to 6, you might change hands and take it all the way back up. And then we're just going to relax here and just let your eyes. So that's a good stretch work for your eyes. And the eyes are connected through the back of the head all the way down. I'm not going to say apparently because I've seen this for myself. It is connected to the muscles through your legs. So we want to have good eyeballs. Okay, now take your hands. Let's pull the ears a little bit. Give them a little love. If you still have oil on your fingers, and oil inside your ears, tops, the bottoms. This is a good thing to moisturize your ears, especially as we're getting into this fall and winter. And give them a nice pull. So you're massaging your lobes, giving them a pull all the way around. And feel into all the folds of your ears. Everything there for a reason. And then you'll take your hands from behind the ears and just start to massage the back of your neck. So you can use both hands, just making nice big circles maybe from the top of the back of the neck all the way down, just massaging. Okay, then I'm going to use my hands and I'm just going to go across one over the other and give that a nice little rub. And then feel free to massage the back of your neck, your shoulders, and back up. Good. Okay, then we're just going to massage the throat. So you just use your hands one at a time, maybe from the chin down, just massaging. And then you can also work your way out. So you start at the center of your throat, one hand at a time, just tracing to the back. And so we warm the throat. Okay, and then we're going to take the hands and you're just going to fold your index finger and the thumb. Rest that right on your chin. So the thumb is at the bottom of the chin, the fingers are on the top. And start to trace your jawline. And so the thumb will come up and maybe end up right in the center of the ear, and then you'll come back down and just do that a few times. You can actually push into your ears when you get that little divot where you don't hear and like you're sealing your ears. Do that a few times. Good. Okay, then we're going to take the fingers backs of the fingers together so the nails are touching, and rest them right at the center of your forehead. And just rake from the center of the forehead to your temples a few times. And you might even have the pinky smoothing out your eyebrow if that works. Good. And then we're going to get to the temple, and we're just going to trace the temple, from the eye, corner of the eye out to your hairline. Good. Okay. And then we can let that go. Just rest your hands for a second and just feel that vibrational energy. Good. Okay. Great. So I'm going to stretch your legs out. We're going to set up for our first pose. If you'd like to do a downward dog, you need to stretch or something, then, you know, I honor that. Just feel into what you need. Oh, a little sleeping puppy here. Okay. Good. So, all right, guys. So this is how we're going to set up. And oh, this doggy's so cute and he's sleeping right in the middle. Okay. Good morning, Pete. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take my bolster or your made bolster, whatever you have, and just put that right in the center of your mat. It's getting darker. I might need to turn the lights on, but let me see if I can right now. So I put the bolster right in the center of the mat. Then I'm going to take one blanket, and it's just this size, and I'm just going to put it at the top. So this will be for my head and shoulders and for Pete. And then I'll take another blanket and I'm going to open this one till it's like maybe halfway. So it's nice and big. I want to put this one down so that when I lie down, my arms are going to rest on it. So I might just fold it in half and then I'm going to rest it. So, you know, it might go on top of the bolster a little bit and then out to the sides. So I hope that made sense. So you have your bolster in the middle of your mat, then you have a blanket for your head and a nice big blanket that you can stretch out. So when you lie down, your arms will rest. Then at the back of your mat, you're either going to use 2 blocks or 2 blankets so that the legs are going to be elevated. So I'm going to put the blocks on their lowest height, and I'll just put them towards the back of the mat so that when I lie down, you know, my heel is going to be on the block and whatever other part of my leg. Then you might want something to keep yourself warm, and you might want an eye pillow. And then you're going to sit in the center of the bolster. I want to lie down so that I feel like the edge of the bolster is maybe at the bottom of my ribs, or even in line with the, you know, soft part of your waist. And then the arms will come out. So I'm just going to assess first. I'll stretch the legs out, see how the blocks are. Are they too wide? Are they too far away? Just kind of feel. And, you know, if anything's not, like, discomfort is okay. We're okay with discomfort. Then once I'm here, I'm going to take my hands and just grab the outer edges of the blanket that my head is on. I'm going to roll these blanket edges underneath and in towards themselves so they kind of create like a triangle, little support for the back of my head. Then you kind of go, okay, is this good? Do I need anything else? Adjust my blocks. And if you do, you know, just bend your knees, sit up, make any adjustments. You know, I just get in here and right away I'm like, oh, okay. So hopefully you're having that same experience. So what we're doing here is we're just allowing the chest to be lifted, the lungs to open. We have the legs in line with the heart, so they're also elevated, and the head is below. And we're just encouraging the back of our skull, our shoulders. You know, feel your shoulders are on the floor. I'll say this too, if it doesn't feel quite right, if you bend your knees, lift your hips, and kind of wiggle the bolster down, it will probably need to move down. I'm just guessing if it doesn't feel quite right. Or wiggle yourself up. Okay, so I'm just manifesting with great intention that you're all very, very comfortable. That you're like, oh, this feels great. That we can just drop in here and breathe and allow the props and the shape of the pose to do the work. I'm going to stop talking and we're going to stay here for about 5 minutes. So just inviting yourself to drop in more deeply I'll say this too, you know, if your back is uncomfortable, you could also just put your feet on the floor on either side of your bolster, and that will bring the knees together, and that will change things for you as well. So make it nice, and then rest inwards. Staying in the pose. Consciously just dropping in more deeply to the back of your heart, your eyes, your breath. And just imagining maybe the full moon illuminating above you. And just filling you with the soma, the elixir, the powers of reflection that is the light of the moon. And just maybe wiggling your toes a little bit, or opening, spreading the toes and crunching them in a few times. And then gently bending your knees and placing your feet on the floor. Just drop the knees in towards each other and widen the heels out a little bit. And again, just be here. Soften through the forehead, right to the back of your head. Good. Okay, I'm going to widen the knees apart, and I'm going to try and sneak the bolster out without coming up. But if you need to roll over and remove your bolster, do it. Otherwise, just see if you can lift your hips and maybe just slide the bolster down below you. And then, you have that blanket there. It might spread out nice, just a little support if that works. And then just drop in, and you can even extend your legs on top of the bolster if you like for a few moments, or you can sit cross-legged on the bolster, or just keep your knees bent. And just allow the torso, the heart space, the belly. Just take a few moments and come back in alignment here. Okay. You can place your feet on the bolster and maybe just stay there for a few moments. But if it works to bring your knees into your chest, I'm just going to throw my little blanket over my shins and just hold that. And just bring the knees in. Maybe even tuck your chin in a little bit. And you might just hold the knees here. That's what I'm doing, just holding them in and allowing the weight of it all to just melt into my back. But if you feel you need to rock side to side or circle your knees, just consciously coming into wherever you need to be here. Just wherever you are nourishing and healing your back body. Okay. So I'm going to prepare to roll to the side and come up to sitting. So I might just take the right arm up and over my ear, drop the knees over to the right, move into the fetal position for a breath or two. And then gently, slowly, lovingly walk yourself upright. And okay, so I'm going to just take that bolster and just move it now. So I'm just going to put it on top of that blanket, the long blanket I laid here. And you might move it. You'll see how it goes. We're going to lie over this bolster, and you might have your heart on it. Let's see. Let me see. I'm just going to sit down. So the bolster is just right behind me. Just lie over it, and then I can reprop my head. If you get here and this is like, oh, this doesn't feel good, then grab your block, and you might put a block or blanket underneath your hips, and that will get rid of some of that big slant. So whatever, that block actually feels pretty good. Without the block, we definitely have an arch in the back. So whichever one is good for you, you make it right for you. And then I'm just going to extend the arms out now so that they're kind of in this T shape. And I have the knees bent, feet on the floor. So I don't have a block under my hips. If you do, it's totally beautiful and lovely. with your feet on the floor, just lift your hips up, lengthen the back, the low back by just drawing the tailbone towards the knees or the calves, and then setting your hips tush back on the floor. Then see, do you like if you want to stretch your legs straight, you might like that. If you're on the block, I don't know how comfortable that would be. Let's see. Yeah, that's a bit of a different thing if you're on the block, so whatever works. So here we just have this lift. Now has gone down a little bit, where you can even feel your body where you feel that lift happening for you. So I can feel my ribs are open, low belly or mid belly is nice and open. However this is for you. So adjust yourself if you need to throw another blanket in somewhere. It's just dropping in again. So once you're here for a few moments, the beginning it might be a little bit of discomfort. After about 3-5 breaths, you might be able to release a little bit of that maybe tension you've been holding or protecting, and just drop it in. And tuning into how your breath is flowing, where you feel the top of the inhale happen, and where you feel the exhalation descend. Drop your eyes. Any tension in the eyes, just drop it down. Just gently, lovingly following the flow of your breath. And just staying a few more breaths, just notice what you can let go of, how much more deeply you can fall in. Maybe softening the back of your head, the sides of your neck, your jaw. And we're going to bend the knees. So before you do that, just notice which leg wants to bend first. It's generally always the same one. And bend your other leg first. And just come into this bent knee. And then once you have the feet on the floor, push into the floor with your feet, lift your hips. And I'm just going to shift the hips over to the left, put them down, and then just roll yourself to your right. So the bolster is going to just rest right into this, right side of your ribs. You can come up and wiggle yourself back a little bit so that you feel that the bolster is right underneath the side of your ribs. Then you can take your right arm and extend it straight out. You can even move that blanket you had under your head to support it. Put your head down, but if that's too much, put that blanket on top of your arm. You can create a little, just roll it in and make a little head support. I know it's dark, I hope you can see. And then feel that. I'm just going to adjust the camera. Okay. So feel that for a few moments. And adjust your legs as you like. And then if that's all good, now take your left arm up and over your head and alongside your ear. And it might just, hang out here. You might hold hands if that works for you, or rest the left hand into the right, or just wherever it goes. I'm actually going to take my left arm and just walk it behind the right a little bit, just to get a little more into that shoulder. But if you need to put it in front, just rest it, that's fine. And then we're just going to drop into this little bit of a side arch. And just breathe. And notice too, my friends, if your chin is tucking right into your chest, and can you move your head back a little bit so everything is a little more open. But if that's not comfortable, then put it back where it was. I'm going to add the legs. And so I'm just going to take the bottom leg, so the right leg, and just take it out to the side, and then I'll walk the left leg back a little bit. It's not, it might not go that far or even back at all. And if that's no good, just bring them back in. And just close your eyes. And if you need to adjust anything, take the time to do that. So here we're just going to bring in a little bit of this front to back. So you feel wherever your left hand is, if it's gone over your head, just open your chest more to the sky. And you can even take the left arm out to the left more. And then you'll just trace along the floor and bring that left arm. It might come all the way in front of you as you bring the chest more to the bolster. So you're just going to move a little bit front to back as you open yourself and close it. You can use the left arm to kind of trace this little semicircle over you. If any place along this way you're like, I just want to be here for a few, then we're just going to rest in again. So you decide where that is for you. Might just be where we were before, anywhere along that path. And then we'll just take another 5 nice, beautiful breaths here on the side. Just ascending yourself deeply. Okay, if you've stretched your legs out, just bring them back in so they're one on top of the other, and release the left arm down. It might rest on top of your left hip for a moment or in front of you, and just be here. Just feel that part of you touching the bolster. It can be very heavy. And we're going to switch sides. And so you could do that by rolling onto your back. So take your time, because there's a lot of props, and just kind of find your way back onto your back and Adjust that bolster and hang out on your back for a moment or two. Just feel your breath. And then we'll come into the second side the same way we did. So you'll have your knees bent, feet on the floor. You push the feet down, lift the hips, move the hips to the right, put them down, and then roll yourself over to your left side. And adjust yourself so that you have the side ribs right on that bolster. Good. And then just feel what you have there. And then you can take that left arm and extend it out. Maybe put the blanket on top or underneath of your arm. So you make a nice little shelf for your head. Adjust your legs, and even before we stretch them out, just feel yourself comfortable. And then we'll take the right arm up and over the ear. And if that feels good, you might rest right on your head or behind it or in front. Or maybe it just doesn't go there. That's fine too. And just allow yourself to be here now. I am here. And if you wish to adjust your legs, the bottom leg, the left leg will come out, and then you can walk the right leg behind you, or just keep it as it is, all fine. It's fine, whatever works. I'm just going to start to, again, open the right arm out more behind you so the chest opens more to the sky, and then roll yourself so the chest comes more onto the bolster, and you can move that right arm. So you could trace this little arc here as you move between these two places. It's breathing and experiencing. Good. And then we're going to settle in. So you can choose any place along this path. Let's return back to our first position here, whatever works. And just drop it and breathe. And we'll just start by maybe bringing the legs back, being here. And you take the right arm down and just rest it on top of your hip or in front of you, whatever feels good. And then from here, just take your hands somewhere to the floor and just press yourself up to sitting. And keep your eyes closed. You've done all this work to really cultivate being here, and take a few moments here and just feel. Okay. So from here, we're going to move into our final position for rest. So that could be Shavasana, and you could just do Shavasana however you like it. It could also be legs up the wall, and I think that's what I'm going to do, is a little legs up the wall with the bolster and a blanket around my legs. But if that's not your jam, that's totally fine. And then you could even put the bolster lengthwise and sit on the floor, lie over it. A little bit of Shavasana too is what that is. So whatever works. I'm just going to adjust this again. So set yourself up, my friends, and either legs up the wall or lying down flat. Okay, so for legs up the wall, I like to put something under my hips. It just kind of gives the back a little bit of, it's kind of like the opposite of everything we've done, because I'll have the hips higher. And then I'll take my blanket, the one that I opened. I'm just going to toss my legs into the center of the blanket so that when I come up, then they'll be nicely wrapped. Okay, so I'm going to sit in the center of my bolster. And then I'll just talk you through it as I do it. I'm going to sit in the middle of the bolster. And then I'll just turn myself, bring the legs up the wall, and lie down. Just kind of wiggle yourself in. So you don't have to be right against the wall. Be a little further away. That's better for your back and your legs. And just take some time and feel your comfort. And if this doesn't feel like a place that you can be deeply relaxed in, then just no harm done. Just turn yourself around and lie down. Just dropping into this experience with the culmination of every pose we've done already behind us, and inviting you into your own into me I see, your own intimacy, your own quiet, and your sacred rest. My friends, focus on releasing your eyes. If you could look deep inside your own heart, And just scanning, releasing. Just following the flow of your breath. Staying in your rest for as long as feels good. And when you're ready, you'll just really make the movements very slow and conscious. Like you're just bringing yourself back after a long winter's sleep. You might hug your knees in. Just roll yourself to your side. Just resting in the fetal position for a few moments. Whenever, no rush, my friends. You take your time, and when you do come to sitting, then just feeling that this is that liminal space, between this restful practice and moving back into your real world. And just savoring this time that you have carved out to really be intimate with yourself. To notice any, maybe extra tension or sense of release, relief, anything that arises, and just sit with that. And so I just have simple mudra here. I'm just laying the right hand into the palm of the left. Bring the thumbs to touch, and then just lay that into the center of your lap. Tonight is the full moon, and this is the hunter's moon or the harvest moon. And a beautiful practice on full moon, that's when it's not freezing out, is to just like fill a mason jar or a cup, something with a lid, with water. And then so Heart and I will be doing this, and just hold that jar. You just infuse it with your love, your intentions, whatever it is you're calling in for yourself, for your family, for the planet. Just put it all into that water. And then you'll set that jar outside. I'll bring all my crystals and kind of put them around the jar to infuse it. And then in the morning, when you drink that water that's been infused with nature and all your love and all of that. So beautiful way to just kind of extend your practice off the mat into just harnessing this full moon soma elixir. And so with that, my friends, join your palms together at your heart and lengthen yourself tall. And as you exhale, bow your chin as you bow down to all that you are, to honoring yourself and devoting time and space for yourself. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale your breath as you are. And we'll join together in our May We Be Blessed mantra. Inhale. May we be blessed with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be healthy and may we be happy. And we'll seal that with one Om. Inhale. Bow your chin. Om Shanti, Om Peace, Om Shanti, Om Peace, Om Shanti, Om Peace. Call it in together. And take a nice full breath. Breathe into your hands. Catch your breath. Lift your chin, open your eyes, and just share that out. Namaste, my friends. Oh, I love it. I can see your hands. Namaste, guys. In your darkness and in your space. Mwah. Great love from my heart. Thank you so much for being here. And I will see you at your next practice. Fun, guys. Yes, I love that. Oh, nice. I'm going to do that.